Hey there, everybody. I'm doing this virtually blind. Didn't want to wear my glasses because I was getting a weird reflection on there. It's looking a little like Sin City or something. This is a little quickie with me actually on the camera, which I don't usually do a whole lot. But I asked for basically some ideas for videos because I want to do more videos. I want to keep the channel going, but sometimes it's just hard to think about. Like there's so much going. I mean, look behind me. It's like there's so much going on that sometimes it's difficult coming up with video ideas. And so I asked for some, and I never really get that many. I don't know. People are just always like, I like that. Yeah, someone should do a video idea, and then no one ever gives me a video idea. But I did get a few. One was for outdoor figure photography, which it's nighttime right now, so that's a little difficult. But I'll do that eventually. Thank you, Phantom, for that. And James said, we had a little discussion. We have a little doll group. We'll talk about everything. And one of the things that came up was, being around family, having family visit, going to a family member's house, and having to deal with doll stuff. I'm saying doll stuff because that's another thing that came up. A couple of dudes are like, they're not dolls, they're action figures. They're dolls. I mean, just be like, embrace it. I'll cover that too. But how to deal with the kind of there could be an embarrassment. Dealing with, having your figures, your dolls, etc., around family members or out in public, doing photo shoots and whatnot, and how to deal with that. And it's a personal thing. It's a real personal thing because there's certain people. I had a friend back in high school named Loam, and he was just like. He really was an eye-opener for me because it's like, here I am being very guarded, a little art student guy drawing and watching my movies and stuff. And then there's Loam. He's like, you know what I want to do right now? I want to sing the Smiths in the hallway, walking down from point A to point B, going to drama class or whatever. And he started singing the Smiths, and I started singing the Smiths along with him, and everyone's looking at us like, those guys are crazy. But we had a blast. I'll never forget that. It's like one of these memories that's burned in my brain. And if I had stayed all cocooned up, not wanting to do that, I would never have that experience. Another Loam story. Loam had an idea to go to, there was a girls' school down this long road, and we didn't have a car at the time, so we had to walk it. We walked down this long road, or we took a bus or something. And we went to this girls' school because he found out there was a dance at this Catholic girls' school, and that there was a Catholic boys' school that was invited. And so he's like, it'll be great. There's all these girls there. It's a dance. We'll just go dance. It'll be cool. So we go, and the boys are on one side, and the girls are on the other side. And Loam's like, this is lame. Like, let's just go out and dance. So it was Loam, myself, and this other guy that was Loam's friend. So there's a DJ booth, and then we're all dancing, and there's all the girls on one side and all the boys on the other. And the DJ was like, hey everybody, why don't you come join these three guys? They're having a good time dancing. Let's go. And we're all just dancing by ourselves and stuff and having a good time. Again, another experience that if I had been like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm so embarrassed. Oh, whatever. So here we are, years in the future. I'm 56 years old. I just turned 56. Happy birthday to me. One of my favorite movies. And I came to a realization probably about, let's say a year ago, where as a 56-year-old dude who's not really doing anything to hurt anybody, I'm just taking pictures of dolls and stuff. Thing one was, life's too short. I mean, look at the world today. I won't go into it, but just look at it. It could be pretty fucking terrible, to be honest. And if you're concerned with all this terrible stuff going on, oh God, look what I'm doing. With all this terrible stuff going on, if you're concerned about how people are going to look at you because you're just taking a picture of a doll or an action figure or whatever you want to call it, there's so much other stuff that's way more important. you know, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time worrying about that. If anyone's watching you at all, because that was another thing. I took a class a long time ago, Landmark Forum. It's a pretty good, pretty handy class. But it's like a group. They teach you all these different things. And one of the things they did was, we're all in these lines of chairs. And they said, look to the person at your left and think, oh my God, that person to my left is out to get me. They're looking at me, they're plotting against me, all this kind of stuff, right? So you're looking over here, and you're saying that person is out to kill me, out to get me, all these bad things. And then the teacher said, okay, good, you thought that. Now turn to the person to your right and know that the whole time you were looking at this person, the person over here was looking at you, thinking that you were going to try to get them, but realistically you weren't paying any attention to them because you're so focused over here. You had no idea, but in their mind, in this exercise, you were out to get them, but you didn't even know they were there. And I think the same thing is with doll stuff. It's like, if they do notice you, they're like, either, that's weird, this doll person. Or when I took my Jeep out, these two ladies were like, that's amazing, there's two ladies driving this Jeep, that's so cool, can I take some pictures? And they took some pictures of the Jeep and stuff. And it was really neat. And so, you have 6 of one, half dozen another, but if it's going to get in the way of your enjoyment of this crazy life that we have for a very limited amount of time, you could do 2 things. You could either let everybody else influence your enjoyment in the world. If you're not hurting, if you're hurting dogs or something, yeah, okay, maybe they should look at you with judgment. But with just taking photos of figures and toys and whatever, it's a silly thing to waste your time on. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to get around, because it took me a long time to get to the point where I am now, and I'm still not 100%, but I'm also like, you know what, I'm 56, I just don't care. Judge me, laugh at me if you want, whatever. But I'm not going to stop doing what I like doing in the limited amount of time that I have to do it, with work and kids and dog and house and all this kind of stuff, to spend time worrying about what other people think. It's a big waste of time. And I wanted to enjoy my life doing what I enjoy. I did the same thing with train stuff. I used to tell people I had a big N-scale layout, and they're like, trains? I've never heard of this, an adult doing that. And then even in the train community, there were all these guys who were modeling. I'm not, model 1950s steam, and I'm here doing Japanese rail, and I have all these Japanese buildings and stuff. It's like, why Japan? It's like, because I like it. Like, why don't you take a hike? Why judge what I like? You like trains. I like trains. Let's leave it at that. But you get these little micro communities within the main community. So instead of being like, we kind of did it today. We were talking about people's posing and how posing sometimes makes us a little crazy. I think the difference is that in our group, we could talk about it, our little micro group, but I am not going to sit there and go, why do you dress your figure that way? You shouldn't do that because I don't like it. It's like when people do that with movies all the time. I hate that movie, so you're an idiot if you like it. But if you just let everybody, we have a saying in our household, don't yuck someone's yum. And keep that in mind. Don't yuck someone's yum. If someone likes it and no one's getting hurt or whatever, great. Like, I'm a vegetarian. Great, good for you. I eat nothing but meat. Awesome. I hate ice cream. Fine. Just because they don't like what you like doesn't mean that you have to sit there and say that they're doing it poorly, or you're saying they're dumb for doing that. People who dress dolls a certain way or pose dolls a certain way and all that, and if you don't like it, fine. Don't look at it. Don't comment on it. Unless they're asking, hey, how do I make this better or whatever? And they're asking for comments. Be creative. Be kind and give them hopeful comments. Don't just say that's stupid. It doesn't help anybody. With family members, it's a little harder because some people, have a tough time with that. They have family members who just don't get it. But I've heard some really nice stories too of my new computer hates me. It timed out. So anyway, I'm wrapping up anyway. But yeah, I've heard some really nice stories about people with like full-size figures who are like a big part of their lives, companion dolls and stuff. And how do you bring that up? There's a big stigma about that. Like, why do you do that? That's weird. All this kind of stuff. But hey, again, don't yuck someone's yum. And this person that I know, I'm not going to name names because I don't want to tell. It was told to me privately, but they had a meeting with their parent and the figure and themselves, and they're like, "This is my companion." And I guess at one point the parent was like, "Oh, I totally get it now. I totally get what's going on, and that's great. I'm so happy that you're happy." And there's some nice pictures and stuff that were sent and stuff. It was nice. Don't let people yuck your yum. People will, because people do that, especially with the internet now. The internet is like this anonymity of being behind this facade and being able to say terrible, hurtful things to people that you would never say in front of their faces. The vast majority would never say it in front of their faces. But with the internet, they'll just say it, and so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is just if you get enjoyment out of it, no one's getting hurt, and you like it, don't let someone take that away from you, because there's too much of that going on today. And it's not easy, but I think with persistence, like with me, I kept going out there. I had cards made that had the website on it, had a picture of my figures, and the Instagram page and all that kind of stuff. And so when I went out in the world, I would be able to be basically hide behind the card, like, this is what I'm doing, because people would always ask, like, what are you doing? You're taking pictures? And so it's a little talking point, like, yeah, I have an Instagram account. I do 6-scale storytelling. My wife helped me come up with that, and then have this thing of what you're doing, and just embrace it. And I think the more you do that, and the less you do this don't look at me kind of thing, people just go, oh, I guess that's not a big deal. Great, good for you. And they walk off, if they stop at all. Which I had all these cards printed up, and I've given out very little of them, because when I'm out and about now, I just do my thing, and most of the time people just glance over and then keep walking. In the case of those two ladies, they actually stopped, but like I said, most of the time it's just like, okay, that guy's doing that thing, great. So doing it over and over and over again, you start getting it, and especially if you keep that thing in mind, like I was saying, where it's you're looking, you think the people are looking at you, but they're actually not paying attention to you at all, kind of deal. That helps a lot. And even if they do, you're never going to see them again. Who cares? It's like, oh, that guy's a weirdo. He's taking a picture. Oh, look at that weirdo taking a picture. Okay, great. See ya. Boom, gone. Never see him again. Don't let them yuck your yum. Anyway, rambled too long on that one, but I feel passionate about it, and it was a great topic. Thanks again, James, for that topic, and my doll buddies. Because it is important. There's too little time to be worried about what other people are gonna think about you when you're not doing anything wrong. Worry about it when you are doing something wrong, and use that. But if you're not doing anything wrong and you're having fun, coming from the old man, that's how I feel these days. 56, I don't know. Anyway, like the video, subscribe, all that YouTube bullshittery. And if you have a topic that you're interested in knowing more about, like, I don't know, something you see behind me, or posing, or where to get clothes, what figures to buy. I cover a lot of that kind of stuff. But as you can tell by this video, I like to talk, and I like to investigate stuff and whatnot. So if you have any video topics that you want covered and you're interested in, please let me know, because it will probably become a video. And thanks for watching. And don't let people yuck your yum.